So hello everyone, it's your girl B.O.B here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the new UOMA Beauty by Sharon C Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation. It's infused with vitamin C plus 100% natural, what is this? Marine, a word I cannot pronounce, okay? So I have the shade Brown Sugar Tea 1. It is lighter than what I normally use, which is Brown Sugar Tea 2N. So, as you see, it's just a little bit lighter. I don't think it's like ridiculously lighter to the point where I can't make it work. And I just did a video where I bought one a little bit, like one shade too dark. One or two shades too dark. So it's like, honey, I'm over here just a mess. So I thought it'd be fun for us to do a full face of black-owned brands as we get all this started. So if I remember correctly, I paid no more than, I want to say, $15 for this foundation, but let me check my receipt and see. OPV. That's OPV Beauty. Let me see. Yeah, this was $15. So let's click on it. And see. Now we want. Trying to find the description real quick. Okay, so it says foundation, serum, moisturizer, or beauty balm. Ding ding, it's all of the above. Available in 30 shades with 6 custom formulations, each supercharged with skincare ingredients for your skin's unique needs. Lightweight, buildable, velvety foundation melts onto skin, creates a perfect canvas with a soft focus blurring effect that diminishes pores and fine lines, giving you the real skin finish. It looks like your skin plus a radiant lit from within glow. So, and it retails for $15. Non-communogenic, dermatologist tested, luminous, natural finish, long-lasting, buildable from sheer to full coverage, which is the reason I bought it, because it said sheer to full. I'm like, how you doing sheer to full? But okay. 30 flexible shades to suit all customized skincare ingredients. Like I said, recyclable packaging, 100% vegan. Do your part and please recycle after use. Which is brown sugar. It has vitamin C, radiant boosting antioxidants that help to brighten the skin, 100% natural marine extract, and reduces sebum production, which is the production of oil, if I remember correctly. Okay, y'all, so I was super excited because I saw Angel's birthday lip bundle is at Sephora, and I was hoping I could pick it up today and do like a little lip swatch thing on my Instagram or whatever, but that ain't happening, so I was just like, oh. So I was going to get the lipsticks from his website in a bundle and just wait. But I'm like, I think I'll get them at Sephora. The only thing is they don't have them like in store at Sephora. It's like 24-hour access on the app. But I still feel like I'd get you quicker from them than I would from him. So I already have my primer on to save time. I did not spot conceal because I want to see how this builds some full coverage on its own without any help. If you're curious what's on my eyes, it is a black owned brand, of course, because I just said we do a black on everything, sis. So I have on the Genesis palette from Mented Cosmetics and Mented Cosmetics. If you didn't know, Mented Cosmetics is owned by one of my favorite YouTubers' friends, Neon MUA. I love Darius so much, y'all know. We're gonna start with these two pumps right here and see how this goes. But yeah, let's see how Sharon's foundation works on this skin right here. I mean, it does have a scent. It's not like it's a bad scent. I feel like it's somewhat of a fresh scent, but there is a scent. It's not like chemical or perfumey. It just has like a natural type scent to it, in my personal opinion. But I feel like we're sharing. Yeah, I don't feel like my shade match is too far off. I'm just concerned about it talking about sheer to full. So I'm like, we're going to see how this sheer to full is working. It literally does feel like I'm just rubbing moisturizer on my face. So that's interesting there. What it is about UOMA Beauty foundations, I always feel like I look orange even when I have like the right shade. Because I feel like when I use the other shade, it still looks like reddish orange. But I always thought that was like, because I think it's like tomato extract in the original one from just her UOMA Beauty line. And this is her more affordable line. I didn't get any of the other stuff just because I was like, I wanted to try her original mascara before I tried this one. And there wasn't a concealer for me to get from her other line. I guess like she was like, since her concealer from the first one is so great, we don't need another one from the affordable line. Just buy the other one. Okay. I'm liking the way it looks on the skin with those two pumps. But I want to see how big it really is. And sometimes, you know, you want to go in and be extra. So we're going to have to put some more on top of this. Just to see. So I'm going to build it up and do 2 more pumps. Just because I want to see how it builds. Because I know I'm not the only full coverage girl out here. So I figured I would, you know, pile it on for the sake of us. Oh, my Julius Place palette said they will be here tomorrow, which is Monday the 12th. So hopefully they actually are. And we could, you know, get into those, or at least film with those tomorrow before I go to work. That's what I'm hoping for. But you know, we'll have to actually wait and see. I think I'll put the rest on my forehead this time instead of putting all of it on my nose. I will put a little on my nose, so. And hopefully it won't be too oily at the end of the night because I added all this product. I'm going to buff it in with the brush again, and then I will sponge all over the face. And hopefully like the powders and stuff will make it, because I'm just feeling like I look really orange on camera. It's not as bad in real life as I feel like it picks up under the lights. Because I feel like underneath the lights I look like an Oompa Loompa, but like in the real world, I don't look as bad as I do on the camera. Just know that. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely like the way it builds up. I would still sparkly fill underneath just because I'm still seeing some of my dark spots and you don't want to take up too much foundation. But hopefully with the concealer underneath, we can help like balance out the coloring. Because again, I'm just looking on camera and just a little too orange for my personal liking in person. Because I don't really look orange at all. So like if there's any orange, it look too much for me. So we're going to take the UOMA Beauty Stay Woke Concealer from her original UOMA Beauty line, that UOMA Beauty by Sharon C. And I wear the shade Brown Sugar T2. So let's get the concealer, honey, and try to fix up this situation here. I'm really liking my eye look today, y'all. But y'all know I love a blue, green, purple moment. And although this is in purple, it's like a fuchsia-ish, dark, I guess plum pinkish looking shade. I'm still here for it. It's still a vibe. And I'm just like, yeah. Also, I really like the way this foundation feels on my face. So I'm happy with that. Okay, y'all. So, I actually haven't spent a whole bunch of money this weekend like I normally do on makeup. I didn't get those Artist Couture lipsticks for sure because, honey, Mac Daddy can make me damn near anything, okay? If Angel is making it, I am here and I am available. Because I feel like his brand makes great products. A lot of people don't talk about him. That's why if you notice, like I've definitely picked up on buying and reviewing a lot more of his stuff. Because his stuff is nice. Like his blush palette, honey, I looked snatched and loved by the Lord with it. I want him to come out with some more pressed highlighters, but not necessarily in the Gelée formula he originally came out with. Like, if he came out with more of a sparkly formula, like, what do you call it? Another brand that looked nice and just kind of melted into your skin, then I would definitely be all about that life. Okay, so the middle of the face is looking different, so I'm appreciating that. Let's do my second layer, because y'all know I can't just do one. We need to hide these dark circle bags. At the fact that I've been up for God, and I'm sorry, I've only got 4 hours worth of sleep. We need to hide it, girl. So we need to go ahead and just blend it on out. As much concealer as possible without looking like it's a whole bunch of concealer on. So there we go with that. Now, I don't have any cream bronzers from Black owned brand. However, I'm going to use the Colored Rain bronzer in the shade Mocha Queen. I have not used this, I don't think, on camera in a while. I did use it. I did use it this week, though. I remember that much for a fact. I used it this week, so we're going to go ahead and use it now while we letting the concealer sit for a little bit. I was going to use Darius' whole palette, but I was like, I'm trying to squeeze as many Black owned brands in here as possible. So I'm going to just use Darius' palette for the blush. But it's a really nice bronzer. And since this is kind of a deeper one, I was like, let me, you know, use it while I can in the summertime. Because in the wintertime, there's no way I would like use this because it'll be entirely too dark for my preferences. I feel like it's too dark for my preferences now in the summertime, but since I had already bought it and I was gonna try to like go through the hassle return to their website, that's the only thing about buying from people's website sometimes. And sometimes I have to remember, like, since it's the black owned brand, they actually know how to make a decent shade range for people who look like me. So I have to like remember, like, you don't buy, you know, necessarily this shade because they're not catfishing you when it comes to what the color is, because they're a black owned brand. So it's just gonna be whatever color it's actually supposed to be for you. Let me get this other side, because I'm trying to let the concealer sit as long as possible so we can, you know, have the most coverage that I can get out of it. Again, to help with the fact that I felt like I still saw dark spots on my face. Plus, I want to help with the fact that it looked kind of orange when we put it on. So I'm feeling like with bronze and all those steps I normally do, hopefully we can calm that down. And then with the setting powders, we should be able to hook that up. So I'm just bronzing all the places I would normally bronze. I don't know if I'm going to bronze on top of this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I kind of do it until I feel like, you know, since, you know, I figure that's what you normally do in makeup, since supposedly there's no rules and all that. And so it's like, I'll just do this. And I'm feeling like I'm liking the way my face is looking a whole lot better now. I'm just randomly, whatever extra is on the brush, I'm just going down the side of my nose. I don't really like, if y'all haven't noticed, I don't ever really try to sculpt to make my nose smaller or like narrower or anything like that. I just, whatever is extra on that brush already, I just leave it like that. So I'm going to take this brush now and start kind of flaring out the edges of my concealer. And I've actually really been liking this brush that Too Much Mess uses for her concealer lately. So I'm like, okay, let me try that one. I feel like it does a good job of smoothing out the sides of the concealer, making it look more blended and natural, as opposed to having like a harsh line underneath there. So I'm here for it. It's working for me. I like it. And the fact that it was $3 is even better. I'm just shocked I like, you know, Morphe brushes isn't like part of Jacqueline's collection. But this one feels a little bit more synthetic than like natural hair. Because I found when I bought their natural hair brushes that they were really scratchy on my eyes. And I didn't like that. And so far, Jacqueline's eye brushes have been working. Now, the powder I'm using underneath my eyes is a powder I'm absolutely obsessed with. I really like it. I think it's great for a yellow under eye powder, and it is from a black owned brand. I feel like you all have seen me talk about this brand, and I did a whole video dedicated to this powder. This is the Prime Beauty Locked In Loose Powder in the shade Golden Gal. Oh my god, y'all. Whenever I put this underneath my eyes, I feel like I just look amazing. And you can't tell me otherwise, because I mean, who's gonna listen to you? Because it's not gonna be me. I feel like it just has the perfect color of yellow in it that works for just about all my concealers, because sometimes I do like a brighter yellow, but sometimes I like a yellow like this. Like, it depends on what look it is we're going for, which one I actually, you know, prefer. I feel like this one just looks perfect underneath my eye and does a great job. Like, look at that. Look how smooth my under eye looks, and nice it does. I mean, the concealer is really nice concealer too, and then you add this like powder set, and it's just really nice. I was going to use the Beauty Bakerie powder, but then I had, remember, I left it at home, and I felt like this brand hasn't been getting as much shine as it did after they first came out with bronzers and Jackie talked about them. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew about this powder. And I did a video dedicated to it. I did a video dedicated to this eyeshadow as well, if you're interested. I did a really gorgeous look, like that NARS cream bronzer video that got a lot of views. Like, the thumbnail is me wearing the Genesis palette from Drench and Mented Cosmetics. And I thought was one of my favorite blue looks to do, but y'all know I love all my blue looks equally. It's like Megan Thee Stallion said she loved all her men equally. I love all my blue looks equally, okay? If it's a blue look, it's just automatically bomb in my book. But look how beautifully that set the concealer, and how our face doesn't look nearly as orange anymore. Now, y'all know if it's a black owned brand, we got to include mother. So, I got the shade Medium 4 Deep Powder, and we're going to set the rest of the face with that. Only thing about this powder I will say is I feel like it darkens your foundation, and that's another reason I went out of my way to use this one in particular, because remember I told you all I bought the shade that was a shade too light. So I'm like, if I put on mother's powder, then I know it will even my face out and make it look the color it's actually supposed to be, because I don't know, I've never knew powders could oxidize, but this one I feel like must, because it makes your foundation shade that you have on darker than it was before. which in this case is going to be beneficial to me because, like I said, I bought T1, and when I watched Jackie's video, I was supposed to have T2, but I was like, Jackie, it's kind of late. I haven't ordered the shit for my damn self. But when OPV Beauty first released, I waited for Jackie to come out with her video because I was like, since there's so many shades, I was like, I don't know what to buy. And I think I told y'all the story, like I went on OPV Beauty's page when they had posted something about the foundation. I was like, yeah, I just ordered my foundation now because I had to wait to see what shade Auntie Jackie said we wore, and they just laughed at me. I was like, hey, girl, I didn't know. Y'all got so many to choose from, which I was loving and living for. But it's like, since you have so many, I don't know what I need. And as you can see, now we don't look yellow anymore. We just look, you know. I feel like we look a little red, but since it's summertime, I'm fine with looking a little red. So, y'all know the drill. We're going to spray the face. Now, I don't have any black on brand sprays to spray my face with, so we're just going to go with this fun one from Wet n Wild in SpongeBob. So, let's press this powder in. And then we can work on the lower lash line, and then we can use Darius's blush, and I got a JD Glow highlighter to use because again I feel like they're a black home brand that people don't talk about that much, and they are based in New Orleans. Mented Cosmetics isn't necessarily a black home brand, but they collabed with a black creator, which is B.O.B. I just talked about earlier. And believe it or not, Mented is here in Illinois with me. Now my waterline, I have the what's the brand called? ColourPop pencil from the Lush Life collection. I'm gonna take that navy shade that's on the outer V and just start dragging underneath the lower lash line. Just at the very outer part of the corner here. I'm gonna do that on both sides, of course. And then we're just gonna take the blue that's all through the crease and put it all underneath the lower lash line to go with the pencil. I tried to make sure it somewhat close. I don't plan on doing any more eye looks today. I plan on just trying to get rest as usual. I always plan to get rest and then it doesn't always work out. But you know, I try. According to Steve Harvey, you know, successful people don't sleep 8 hours a day. And since I don't get to sleep, you know, 8 hours a day, I'm assuming that's why I will be successful soon. Because I'm telling y'all, I literally never. It's rare that I get to sleep for 8 hours. Now we're just gonna take that lighter shade, turquoise looking shade underneath the lower lash line. And I remember I told y'all before, I feel like this is just like a black on brand's version of the Nabla Secret palette, because that's the coloring it gives me. Like if the tones in that palette worked better for people my skin tone, I would feel like it would just be like this palette. So Jensen Rice is like, let me show you how to make these neat and funnish looking colors work for brown people. Not that palette doesn't work for black people. I always think of this as like, you know, like Color Range, the ABH monometer shots for black people. I just look at this palette as like Secret Garden for black people. The eyes. So now let's move on to the face. So I told y'all I wasn't gonna put no more bronzer on, and we not. I feel like we have on enough, even after like setting powder over it. Now I'm going to take this blush from the Adriangameover's Dusk to Dawn palette. I wear the same palette that he wears, which is the Dusk palette, and the name of the collection, Dusk to Dawn. So don't be alarmed by the fact that mine has two contour shades in it. The brand was very responsive and helpful when this initially launched, and I got a palette with 2 contours in it. They actually sent me another one after I DM'd them and told them about it. No questions asked, and asked me to send back anything. I just sent them the pictures like, hey, you know, mine showed up with 2 contours. And like 30 minutes later, the owner got back to me and she sent me another one out, and since she's in the same state I am, by like the end of the week I had that palette. Like, she was not playing. I'm like, okay ma'am, I see you. Okay. Oh, you're doing big things and whatnot. I appreciated it, and that's why I'm telling you all about it, because it's like, that's because that happened. That's a good example of how a brand works, and if they're gonna like be fair to all customers. Because it's like, just because I'm a small content creator, or if I had been a regular customer, I feel like she would have done the same thing. So I wanted to accent and highlight that because Jerry's picked a wonderful brand to work with since as soon as that happened. She acknowledged it. She didn't ask me to do anything. She just resent me what I had bought. So now the last thing we have to do is put on highlighter, and then I have the Fenty, what is it, the Gloss Bomb Heat. So we're gonna put that on, and then we'll call it a day. So let's look at this J.D. Glow highlighter in my type. I found out about them having highlighter from Jackie. I already knew they had like eyeshadows, but look how gorgeous this highlighter is. So let me get my little highlighter brush. I'm gonna use this Milani one. I've been trying to get back into using my ABH Dupe brush, so we're gonna. Oh yeah, I forgot this compact. I didn't take the plastic off of it, so I just use another compact to like actually put it on. I swear, y'all, we're almost done. I swear. And I'm gonna edit this too, so you don't have to see me sitting here like doing a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully, it won't be as long, especially because I still gotta like do a check-in before I go to work, and then come back and check in before like I'll go to bed. And then go back home. It's going to be a whole ordeal. I will say I feel like reflex of highlight flying as I use this brush. And as you can see, it picks up quite a bit because, I mean, I'm over here looking just glowy. Just extremely glowy. So you like this extremely glowy highlight? I guess you might like this. But it might just depend on which brush you put it on too. This is a synthetic one. But if you put on a natural hair one, it won't pick up as much product. It's been a while since I used it, so I don't remember if when I use a natural hair brush it doesn't pick up as much or what. So I'm not going to tell that lie. But as you can see, it's picking up quite a bit right now. And I didn't even pick up that much. I think I swirled my brush in it once and it just did all this. Now when I did my nose, I did swirl in like a serious amount. But once I saw like what it did, what we were doing that, I was like, okay, calm your little stuff down. Because you do way too much. So I'm gonna spray my face again to try to calm down this highlighter, because honey, we're doing a lot. Now, let's skip to the Fenty Hot Cherry Gloss Bomb. I wonder if it's gonna have a whole bunch of stinging going on in it. That's what it looks like. Let's see how it looks on a dip still. I just wish it was like more of an opaque thing, but you know, I guess it's fine. Okay, so this is our finished face of black owned brands. I will check in with you all tonight at the end of the night to check in on the UOMA Beauty Foundation. But I just thought it'd be fun to use some of the other black owned brands in my collection and rediscover the awesomeness of the black owned brand. So I will talk to you all tonight, okay? Okay. So I returned after a long day at work. It felt like it was forever. So let's close up and see how I'm looking. Okay, so had the foundation on for a while. I did not what do you call it, powder underneath my primer before I put on my foundation. Funny story about this, I had took a nap when I went home after I had got done filming here and got gas or whatever, so I could see the guests that came to visit and help my mom out. So I ended up having a watery eye when I was asleep, and so the eyeshadow, I don't know if y'all can see it, my thumb right here, it wore off. And I didn't notice till I was like in the car and went to work. And since obviously I left from my house not here, I didn't have any way to fix it. So I was just like, ooh, we just finna have this random looking thing today. And people normally call me my eyeshadow, but obviously, you know, they was probably like, she had a rough day. Yes, I did. As you can see, the Fenty has completely worn off. I'm surprised that a lot of lip liner still there though. Y'all, I'm downstairs cooking shrimp scampi at like 4 in the morning. What is wrong with me? I know what's wrong. I didn't eat all day. So that's what's wrong. Let's get to the face finally, since that's what you're here for, not about me eating and all the stuff going on here. I think the foundation actually looks quite nice with the powder on for Mother, and I spot concealed ahead of time, and Only thing I say is it always looks oily in here, but I always put a lot of product in here because y'all know I have the most dark spots and discoloration in here. Plus I like to brighten up with concealer, so I feel like if I hadn't put so much concealer in this area right here, we wouldn't look as oily because it wasn't hot outside today. So they had the heat on when I went to work. So that's how the summer's going here in Chicago. Yeah, this foundation is really nice. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you don't want to pay the high price point that comes with this foundation. And both of them have skin care benefits to them, so that's the cool part. And I would definitely recommend that you get the original concealer to go with this foundation, just because I think it is wonderful, lovely, and all those good things. But I need to go see a man about a shrimp since I need to finish cooking it. It's still cooking on the stove and finishing up as I am here talking to you. So get the foundation, girl. It's nice. All the black owned brands on my face I really like. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Okay, girl, bye.